Good morning from one of my favorite places on earth. Today I'm here at the San Diego Zoo in Southern California, my favorite zoo on the planet. They just opened a brand new area of the zoo, the Wildlife Explorers Base Camp, and it's just one of my favorite places to be. So in this video I'm going to show you all around the San Diego Zoo. And what better place to start off the video than the brand new exhibit, the Wildlife Explorers Base Camp. Upon entering the new area, you definitely see a lot of photo ops, whether they be the giant marble ball or big animals to sit on and things like that. The new section of the zoo is very, very well done, very well themed. It combines like animal exhibits with kind of playground stuff, as this did replace the old children's zoo section. So like right next to all that splash area is this wonderful enclosure home to the coaties, which are a really cool animal. Normally they're very active, but not right now. They're so cute. And now he's awake. These guys are so cool. So this is pretty fascinating. You're on like a cargo net kind of thing, and you walk over, and there's some little monkeys, and they're right next to me. And he's climbing, well, climbing good. There's also some spray areas, and ooh, man, this moved more than I thought it would. The fountains, actually, there's like a mister and then jumping fountains down here. I am now in a desert section, home to the Fennec Fox, who's hiding over here.
Over here behind this bush.
They're so cute.
Oh, wow.
This next enclosure is really fun. Digging over here, you can see a little tiny prairie dog. And they're partnered up with my favorite type of owl, the burrowing owl, which makes sense because these are both animals that enjoy digging. I believe they're both found in the American Southwest deserts as well. They have a bunch of them in here. Oh, they're so cute. Had to turn it on real quick because I caught one of the prairie dogs eating. Oh, he's looking right at us. No animals over here, but there was like a hill with some rope climb stuff. Let's go see what is in the Spineless Marvels building. Upon entering the building, I was greeted with a really cool projection map dome. Look at all sorts of flying insects. Now, as one would expect, these Spineless Wonders is an insect house filled with all sorts of bugs and spiders and that kind of stuff. And these are not really my favorite types of animals to see. Like this guy here has a horrifying name. That is the white-eyed assassin bug. Not the bees. Not the bees! Yes, there's a large exhibit here for what appears to be hundreds, if not thousands, of honeybees. Here you can find a series of 3 enclosures, all kind of interchangeable stuff. What these are for some of the ambassador animals here at the zoo. So really cool stuff, whether they be bearcats or sloths or tamanduas. And you can see there's something in there. I really can't tell what it is. There's some ball of fluff back there. Appears to be sleeping back there is a prehensile tail porcupine. And which always reminds me of my favorite zoo to follow on social media is the Cincinnati Zoo in Ohio, and they're always sharing pictures and video of their prehensile tail porcupine, Rico. Go for giving them a follow. You'll be glad you did. The next one, we're heading into the Cool Critters building. Now the Cool Critters building looks to be like a reptile and amphibian house. The first guy here is a Fiji banded iguana. I also love how they did the display. So these are all like screens, so then when they want to change out the animals in any of these enclosures, it's going to be very easy to change out that information. This is also very interesting. There's an incubation section, and they show off what's incubating today as a couple of spider tortoises and a Fiji iguana, and what's hatched recently. That is so neat. And they've got a bunch of different enclosures. I'm gonna go over here because this is an animal I do enjoy. The prehensile tail skink. Very Godzilla looking animal. There is a marshland area, home to a big enclosure for turtles. And then both the cool critters and the insect buildings, they have lower levels as well, so I'm gonna check those out also. The marsh area is really, really well designed too, because once you get down here, you duck down, you get the underwater view, and it's so clear. Down the bottom side of that building, I also love the design, where it looks like, if you're just looking at the enclosures, you would think like the marsh one over there comes right into this enclosure. It doesn't, it is separated by glass. Now this enclosure is for the Chinese giant salamander. Now the Chinese giant salamanders, they're not the easiest thing to see. A lot of times they'll be in the log. And they could grow up to like 6 feet long. You can sort of make it out right there. Got a turtle coming over to say hello. And they're pretty active turtles. Look at these guys. It's also kind of fun because the turtles are paired up with this over here. And that is a dwarf caiman. This enclosure has some fish in it, but the star is this caiman iguana. Let's see if we can get a good shot. Heading into the lower level of the Spineless Marvels exhibit. This is pretty fascinating. This is a leaf cutter ant island. So I'm gonna have to use the super zoom to the fullest. But you can see the ants, then you can see some of them crawling up and down the tree, holding the leaf. Series of tunnels here for the naked mole rats. A very interesting creature. Also, there's a whole area dedicated to like very scary looking bugs, such as this guy, the Mexican fire leg tarantula. Oh. So spiders and bugs are not really my thing, but they're presented so well here at the San Diego Zoo. Like this is an open air exhibit for these giant golden orb weaving spiders. Obviously they're ways away from the guests, but just the way they're presented is something like I've never seen in any zoo. One final one here in the bug house. Look at these guys. Goliath leaf insects. It took me a minute to find them, but they definitely live up to the Goliath part of their name. They gotta be probably a foot long. There is also a new quick service food location. Serving some, man, that sounds really good. Italian Parmesan truffle wings. And then hot dogs. You get family meals, like $55 bucket of hot dogs. There's some draft beer in here as well. And that'll do it. The new area is really, really nice. Great addition to the San Diego Zoo. Gotta be the best children's zoo out there now, I think. Really took one of the oldest parts of the zoo and turned it into something really, really nice. Now it's time for one of the larger exhibits at the zoo, the Elephant Odyssey. The exhibit begins with a look at the tar pits. They're native to Southern California here. And before we get to the elephants, you get the African lion. He's just sleeping over here. Also, think about scary signs at zoos. That one's a scary sign. And you know it's there because it must have happened. Now the Elephant Odyssey exhibit, it is very, very big. And you can see the elephant all the way off in the distance there. I'm sure we'll get plenty more views. Moving around over there, you can see the jaguar and its little tail. I always think that they're one of the most beautiful animals anyway.
I know. I don't like the
Sleeping over there, you can see a Baird's tapir. There is another Baird's tapir, and this one is sleeping right next to the glass. Now get a better view of the elephant. And that's probably the best view I could get of this one. One thing that's pretty cool about the elephant exhibit here at the San Diego Zoo, they let you see some of the back of the house stuff and where they would go if they need to, you know, wash the elephants and things like that, or do a, you know, medical checkup, holding pen, and how they care for all these animals. Look at that. Cutting the elephant's nails. Look at the secretary bird. Wild looking. It very much resembles like Dumbledore's bird. It's pretty cool. There's another secretary bird who has a big old stick.
Oh, here's another one. There's two of them.
And that guy just, look at how they run around. Ah, that's so cool.
The one's got feathers, the other doesn't.
This is cool.
The nail.
Hit this one at a good time. They lowered some treats for the elephant, who's now enjoying those treats. That's cool. So it's got to put its trunk into the barrel to get the delicious, delicious food. Maybe. And one more elephant here. They definitely have 3 or 4 different areas for the elephants. A couple of camels over here, and I like this guy. He's scratching his neck on the rock. Oh. These llama-type animals are guanacos. A native animal here. These are the California condors. Very large species of bird. This one isn't going to be super easy to see, but all the way up at the top is a rock hyrax who just crawled away. Oh, he jumped down. As you can tell, they're pretty quick. And really cool. Oh, there's a good view of them. Not the easiest thing to see, but you get some meerkats wandering around. They have lots and lots of places where they could dig tunnels. Like, I only see 2. I'm guessing the zoo probably has way more than 2. Posing for us right there is a serval. See the dwarf mongoose down here. They're tiny little furry guys. Also fast little furry guys. In we go to the Lost Forest. And they were not joking around with that Lost Forest name. It is beautiful in here. You can see an orangutan over here. And I believe you got a couple over here that are a little bit more active. They do. A lot more active. Oh, he's going full Spider-Man. That one looks like it's having a fun time.
They're not friends.
The Parker Aviary is another big aviary filled with very tropical birds. Colors on that one. There's a toucan in here somewhere, and they're some of my favorite birds, so I'll see if I can find that. But it's a pretty big place. There's a really good view right here. All right, found it. Found the toucan.
One right there. It just flew down.
It is like playing bear. Where's Waldo with birds? But found it. I think that Barbaroussa just bit that other Barbaroussa. Also, I learned today that Barbaroussas make funny noises. That's a cool looking ape. Going for a climb is the Koalas monkey. So cool. Whoa! Siamese crocodiles are as far away from the guest as they can get. Another one I really enjoy. These guys are Malayan tapers. Very beautiful looking. Like it's pattern. That one seems to be biting the other one's bum. I wouldn't much care for that if I was you, Mr. Taper. A better close-up on his little face. Sleeping ever so peacefully is a Malayan tiger. A very majestic pose for the Malayan tiger.
No, I mean all around the park.
And one final view of that tiger. Beautiful.
There he is.
Here's the okapi. Take a stroll. And kind of fun, the okapi is paired up with a little guy. That is a black diker. The hippopotamus is taking a nap, but man, the hippo enclosure here is great. Above ground viewing, underwater viewing, and it is very, very large. With the sky ride going overhead, we've got a couple of red river hogs there having a siesta. Here's another species of monkey. This one is playing with an enrichment toy. And I think he's really enjoying it. Made it over to the gorilla enclosure. There's one right over here. And another over there. The pygmy hippopotamus is just finishing up some lunch. The Australian Outback is next, and that means koala bears. One thing I love about the San Diego Zoo is that they have koalas, and a ton of koalas. Now the one thing with koalas, they sleep I think like 18 to 20 hours a day, so your chance of seeing a koala up and doing cute koala stuff, not great. But they have so many. Look at this little guy here. Yep, come on, zoom. There it is. That precious little face. Good news, there is one awake. Koalas are so cool. Well, it's not going to get any better than this. As you can see, there's a tiny baby koala in mom's arms back there. Oh my goodness.
Okay, I'm going to turn that. Yeah.
The little tiny baby is now riding on the mom's back. Here comes the mom and baby. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, piggyback ride, exactly.
Alright, so the little baby is about 9 months old. One final shot of this adorable, adorable cuteness that's going on right here. He is so wonderfully sleepy. This is a Tasmanian devil, and I've never seen one awake, but I've also never seen one this close to the people like that. How peaceful it's sleeping. Also wanted to point out one of the Tasmanian devils is named McLovin. Next up is one of the main attractions here at the San Diego Zoo, and that is polar bear Plunge. The polar bear enclosure is fantastic. My current view of the polar bear, not so much as he's taking a nap in the sun. Alright, this is a much better view.
It's so soft and pretty.
There is a second polar bear as well. This one sleepy because it looks like he's probably been playing in the dirt all morning long. And you can see there is a third polar bear hiding in the back. Really great. It's hard to find polar bears at most zoos, and the San Diego Zoo has 3. Came over here at a good time. The Canadian lynx, the keeper, was in here cleaning up the enclosure. giving it food. Hiding a bit, you can see a reindeer over there. And then just the antlers of one up on the hill. There's also a bird aviary over by the polar bears. Up next is the Panda Trek. Now, for a long time, the most famous residents of the San Diego Zoo were the giant pandas. Well, their breeding loan came to an end back, I think, in 2019. So they no longer have giant pandas, but they still have the area, just with some different animals in there. Now the San Diego Zoo doesn't have the giant pandas anymore, but they do have red pandas, who are really cute.
Plan and strategizing other
The toucans are a very interesting Asian animal as well.
and several different species of bees. So a lot of times when people think
There's another red panda, and this one's having a snack. These guys, they might be the cutest animal in the entire zoo. I haven't seen the new Pixar movie yet. I want to, where the girl turns it into a giant red panda. Oh, come on, little guy. Look at him. They are just so precious. Oh, his little tongue. Africa Rocks is another relatively new exhibit here at the San Diego Zoo, and a big exhibit. You got a whole bunch of baboons over here, including the big fuzzy one.
The one with its hair all blown out. This one down here. Yeah, like.
As you can see, the baboon exhibit is a pretty good size. And there's some baboon butt for you.
I like Mikey's butt.
Posing ever so nicely right here on top of the rock is another species of baboon, and they're in such a cool spot.
Yes.
There's a giant two-level, oh my, they're going right at us, bird aviary.
Did it have like yellow in it?
The leopard is sleeping very peacefully. There is a very large enclosure here for a fossa, but you can barely see it. It's in the back there. There is a lemur cuddle party going on over there. There's now a lemur right here on the edge of the enclosure, and they have different species of lemur as well. As I believe right there you can see 3 different species. But I like how close this guy is. Whoa! And he's gone. The Africa Rocks area is just a beautiful, beautiful section of the San Diego Zoo. Chilling out by its own waterfall is a West African dwarf crocodile.
oh wow.
And they say the best for last here at Africa Rocks, the best animal in the world, the penguin. These guys are more, remember, they're African penguins. You got this guy over here that definitely wants to go in his night home. He's probably my favorite. Trying to sneak on back in. Found this one interesting. The penguin pool is made possible by the Dr. Seuss Foundation. And the Africa Rocks exhibit finishes up with this beautiful, beautiful aquarium. There are some sharks in here. Now, last time I came to the zoo, the penguins were in here as well, mixed in with the sharks, and there's signage for it, but I guess it's not happening today. Now, the San Diego Zoo is a very, very big place. The easiest way to get from one side to the other is to take the Skyfari Sky Ride. It'll take you from near the Wildlife Explorers Basecamp Children's Zoo all the way to the back of the zoo over by the polar bears. And I didn't even know this was over here. Look at these guys. Now, I want to say there's no signage or anything, but I believe they're Patagonian cabbies. And they're just chilling out as you get off the Sky Ride. There is one upcharge attraction here at the zoo that is a 4D theater. Right now they're showing Mowgli's 4D Jungle Adventure. I have seen it. It's pretty weird. If you want to do it, it's going to run you $7. One option if you don't want to walk around the zoo, because it is a very, very big zoo, you can take the bus tour, and I believe that is included with the ticket price, and they'll show you most of the animals. Today we had an exhibit that was new for last year, I believe. They redid the Komodo dragon area. And not only is the komodo dragon here, it's awake and it is digging right up by the glass. New enclosure, very, very cool. And man, this is really neat. Doing the tongue thing.
That was cool.
Awesome. It's gonna be a little difficult to see with the way the windows are fogged up, but there's a giant komodo dragon right there. Not the easiest thing to see, but you can see the drool coming off the komodo dragon. As that is how they kill their prey. I believe they are venomous creatures. Oh, and something got his attention. Not something I'm used to seeing in a zoo. There's a hummingbird habitat. Pretty nice exhibit. It'll be very difficult to get the hummingbirds on camera as they move very, very, very fast. The next section of the zoo is known as the urban jungle. Sleeping very peacefully on top of the rock there, or not, it got woken up by those bells, is the cheetah. And back to sleep. Hanging on a pretty cool post is a binturong. They're so neat. They famously smell like popcorn. Flamingos are right over here. And they got a whole bunch of them. Really, really pretty too. This fellow's a miniature Mediterranean donkey. The rhino is right up against the edge of the enclosure. Taking a naparoo. Or not. Oh, that's a big rhino. It's also where you find the zoo's giraffes. And it is feeding time for the giraffes. And there's even a little giraffe. So much smaller than the adults. Picked a great time to stop by the peccary exhibit as they are all up and very active. They are so cool. These couple here are eating this branch. Really like these animals. Right now I'm at the Panda box, and this one is just posing perfectly. Ooh, look at that. That's the lesser kudu, and those will be two baby kudu. Look how much smaller they are than mom. Quick update before the comment section hops on me. Those are kudus and gazelles, not baby kudus as I first thought. But it's a cool mental image, right? Sitting up at the top, you can see a mountain lion. The black and white Koalas monkey is just hanging out. These species that are really, really long tail. And they have a really nice enclosure here too. Big, there's water, trees, things to climb on. Currently nap time for the North American grizzly bears. The teddy bears. There's some big animals, indeed.
He is
Good time in here. The Andean bear is having a treat on the log. Now the Andean bear, famously the bear that Paddington is from the films and the books. The moor leopards and the snow leopards here at the San Diego Zoo have a really, really neat enclosure where they're kind of on both sides of the people, and they've got these cages kind of things to walk around on top of the guests. If you're fans of big birds of prey, don't miss Eagle Canyon. This is where you'll find the biggest birds at the zoo, probably, including the Andean condor, all the way in the back. This beautiful animal here is the sea eagle. Very, very pretty looking zebra. Right by the Skyway, by the polar bears, you'll find the man wolf, which is probably the smelliest animal at the zoo. But I believe that's how it attracts mates. One of the first animals you see when getting to the zoo is these very noisy flamingos here. Before heading into the reptile walk, look at this little turtle. Alright, now the reptile walk. And on the reptile walk, we got amphibians and California native species. This area has a lot of smaller enclosures with different types of frogs and snakes. Let's see if we can find one. Not having a lot of luck finding any. Oh, there we go. A Bornean-eared frog. Hanging out right in the middle is the Chinese alligator. I don't see a sign anywhere for these guys, so I want to say they're gharials. And there's a bunch of different types of turtles in here as well. The giant Galapagos tourists, and that is 100% the right name. These guys are massive. If I was a Grand Cayman iguana, I would probably not choose to be hanging out in the middle of that spiky bush. Maybe that's why I'm not a Grand Cayman iguana. One thing I've never done at San Diego Zoo is see the Wildlife Wonders show. It happens at 2 p.m. and they have a pretty good sized amphitheater for it. And I imagine there's some pretty cool animals that get brought out. Maybe one day. Right by the front of the zoo, you get the reptile house. Definitely looks like one of the older exhibits here. And lots of smaller windows. Ooh, crocodile lizard. I don't see that, but these two turtles are in a cool pose. The western diamondback rattlesnake is in exactly the pose you think it would be in. Got pretty hungry, so I was gonna grab some food here in the Australian section of the park. Look at this sandwich they serve. This is the big barbecue burger. I can't even see the burger. So there's an onion ring on top, pickles, barbecue brisket. There's bacon, cheese, and 2 burger patties in there. But let me tell you guys, food here at the zoo is pretty expensive. My sandwich and my Powerade, $24. One word of warning or advice, the San Diego Zoo, it is a big place, a very big place. As I'm filming this segment, I have been here for 5.5 hours, and I've still got stuff left to see. But it is a big place, also a very hilly place. And if you want to get from the elephants towards the gorillas, you can take this bridge. And it's a long way down. I've been up and down that hill a couple of times today. My feet are feeling it. All right, time to take a look at my watch, and hey, about beer 30. In the Australian area, they have a beer garden. I'm drinking a Komodo Kolsch by a local brewer. And it comes in these really cool aluminum souvenir cups. But it was about 16 bucks for the beer. All right, and that'll do it for my time here at the San Diego Zoo. What a place. It's one of my favorite places in the world, by far my favorite zoo I have ever been to. And it's just a gigantic place. I mean, I've spent a good 6 hours here, and I probably could have spent more. You know, it's just wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Love the new exhibit. You know, whatever they spent on that was worth it. It was really, really great. And that's one thing I really like about the San Diego Zoo. Yes, it's very expensive to get in here. It costs about $65 a person, which is very expensive. By far the most expensive zoo in the country. But they take that money and they reinvest it. You know, a couple years ago I was here, and that Africa Rocks exhibit was new. This time that giant new kids zoo is new. And I mean, that's, you know, that's what I like to see zoos do with you know, the revenue. I'm wondering, and then one thing, like, especially with a zoo like this that does build a lot, you always wonder, like, what's next, right? If it was me, the bears probably need the next fixing up area. The reptile walk area I could see going as well. You know, building a new, like, state-of-the-art reptile and amphibian house, as long as, like, some really cool crocodile and alligator enclosures that I could see happening as well. And then also the urban jungle. I've always thought, like, you know, some of your marquee animals are in there. You could probably use a better exhibit for that one, but there's so much good stuff here, and I love it. I would never pass up an opportunity to come here to the San Diego Zoo. If you have any questions, comments, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.